Literally the second it goes live.
I know. Kisses.
Hi,
Hi, everybody.
Hey guys, welcome to our channel.
Sorry.
That's Dan, the dude we always talk about. Welcome. Welcome back, guys. How you guys are doing?
I'm Amanda.
I'm Janae.
And we are
Girls Go Books Deep.
We take deep dives into fantasy and science fiction movies and television based on literature that we all love together.
So today we are watching the final 2 episodes of Interview with the Vampire. So strap in, get ready for the reactions, because the last time we saw you guys, there was a fight and it was epic.
We have our tea,
literally.
literally.
Yeah, I'm going to be sipping on this through.
We have some chocolate and some snacks.
Ready to go. So feel free to comment as we watch this episode, because we love, seeing your comments and interacting with you guys. So let's get this started. You got something to say before we start?
Oh, and that, like always, we're gonna cut the feed in between episodes so that the videos will be separate in our playlists on our channel. So if you want to watch any of our previous reactions to Interview with the Vampire, you can head over to our channel, and we have them already in a playlist for you to enjoy.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Episode number 6, Like Angels Put in Hell by God. That's an interesting title. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get notified when we are online or when there's a video. Here we go. So excited. Yeah, I've been waiting for this.
We purposefully put it off so that we could watch both episodes today.
Because anyway, I can handle watching one episode and trying to come back.
Sorry, I usually get this lined up and I forgot.
Yeah, let's watch the yeah, let it play. Because it's been a while. I know, it's so good.
Keep reading. Keep talking. You wanted her. You fixed her.
You refused me one love when you got 2.
I don't know if you remember mental accuracy.
You know, it's interesting. She said that, not realizing that Lestat don't care about her.
Don't run off. Don't run off.
You refused to give me 1, but you got 2.
You are
Or she's talking about the other girl.
The first sight of her, you were just gonna eliminate me. Let go of me.
Hey! We're glad you made it and you're here. What's up, Ryan?
Los Angeles. We're in Fort Lauderdale.
Nice.
Hello from across the country.
Ooh.
A few shattered vertebrae, a punctured lung, blind in one eye for 5 weeks, 2 months, was it? I took naps at night then. I would feel the air against my skin as though I were still falling. And then I would land all over again.
Oh, that's
Excruciating pain was the proof I was still alive.
It's interesting that he's talking about falling and
He could
there's
fly,
Yes.
bird feathers everywhere.
like Superman.
Not like Superman. Superman is a fictional character.
Hannah,
But
she was in the middle of watching
air,
our
it'll
last
fuck you to
reaction.
Newtonian physics.
Episode
fly.
4.
He said it was
Oh,
more
cool.
like floating, arising at will, propelling in a direction by the decision. He called it the cloud gift.
Hey Doc, do you know there's a flying vampire apocalypse coming your way?
Most vampires do not possess the cloud gift. With few exceptions, only the most ancient of us have it.
You know he's a vampire, right?
I do not discuss my patients with anyone but the patients themselves.
That's the voice of Dr. Fareed Ben Sali.
That is not my voice,
He's the personal physician to the Deputy Prime Minister.
and I am not here.
The vampire Louis de Pontefract.
No.
He's officially off.
He said, I don't want to be a part of this.
By animal across
What
the threshold.
vampire?
Is your medicine taken?
It's cold and itchy. Thanks for asking.
Are you still dreaming about our first meeting, Daniel?
I keep waking up just before you ask me back to your shitty apartment. Can you fly, Louis?
Oh,
No.
So for 20 years, you lived with the vampire Lestat, and you didn't know he had the flying gift.
The cloud
Right.
gift. And yes, it was a remarkable bit of restraint he managed.
Why would he do that?
I suppose he thought if he exposed all his power to me, I would never feel his equal, and the relationship would suffer.
He only beat me the one time, officer. It's not his fault. Classic Stockholm, eh, Doc?
I am not here.
Are we
Stop
some
talking to me.
powers?
Like,
Can we be forgiven if we do not forgive others ourselves?
hold on,
The
pause.
star had disappeared.
Because I just realized captions.
just watched the final hours ago. Can't wait to see. Oh,
That awful night vanished out of a profound sense of shame he would later confess to, which was just as well, since Claudia and I were in no mood to receive his apologies. I made Pride my blanket, and she dedicated all her energy to my rehabilitation.
those in love are quicker to
You ready?
accept an
This is
apology.
humiliating.
The child makes you remember.
Oh, yeah.
We'll try again tomorrow.
If you ever want to talk about what happened to you while you were gone, you know you can, right?
Uh-huh.
Or you could just tell me his name,
Mm-hmm.
write it on a scrap of paper.
You gonna be my knight in bench for black?
I am the knight. Don't move it.
I didn't.
Save your charity for the needful.
Julia, hello. I've been calling quite often. I don't know if the operator is patching me through correctly.
Why is it there?
I bought something from Louis' favorite bookshop. Book of Hours. Extremely rare. 15th century. Silver and gold on the vellum. Pellets of blue, mauve rose.
No one here wishes to speak with you.
Well, I know he's upstairs. I can see his silhouette. Perhaps we should let him decide if he wants to see me or not.
Ah! not leave. Oh my God.
That is so
Yo,
much better
hold
than
on,
throwing your
wait.
shit in the street.
Hold
He threw
on.
his coffin in the street.
He's like, you forgot something. That coffin. Oh my God. Oh my
And this
God.
is Lestat's house, technically, right? Or no, this is the house they bought together.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
You say, I need Jacob Anderson to receive an award for
Mhm.
his role. Oh, 100%. He better be getting like that Emmy. Oh my God. So good.
I loved him in Game of Thrones, but people like it really puts it in perspective. He gave that strong, silent, like amazing job, but this just is a beautiful way for him to show some range.
Yes, he definitely, oh my God, definitely deserves it. All right, let me rewind this 10 seconds because that was the best reaction. Oh my God.
I felt a funeral in my brain. She also wrote one called A Coffin is a Small Domain. I mean, come on.
Emily Dickinson is not a vampire.
How do you know?
Because she's dead.
How do you know?
She got a grave, she got a tombstone.
That don't mean nothing.
So do you. Exactly. I was just gonna say the same thing. So yeah.
Damn. Why was
Right, he got out of the car. I'm like,
wait, fun. You know how there's that TikTok trend of like, what is something that's inherently not sexy, but is sexy? Him getting out of the car just like that.
right.
It's like, ain't nothing sexy about getting out of the car, but the way he just popped out. Hey.
So this is why when stuff like this happens, you have zero contact. But people like this don't care. They force themselves. They find you in fucking public so that you can't not be around.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, you gotta remind yourself that you're angry.
I'm so happy Claudia is there right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, oh.
She gonna remind you.
Coffin nose. Isn't that rich? This one's yours. Mine's back at home in blue. I'm back in town permanently.
Where you gone?
Across the river in Algiers. Louis, I don't know what possessed me that night.
3 years ago. That night 3 years ago, he means.
I was someone I don't want to be anymore.
3 years?
I've changed.
Time jump.
Damn.
Let me prove it to you. I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without both of you.
He knows he got a pill to Claudia.
If you want me to go away, just say so. I'll obey you.
Technically, he always has.
The silence is cruel. You are never cruel, Louis.
In this moment, you almost had me till you call me cruel, and now you can suck a dick. Sorry.
Yeah, Claudia.
Yeah.
These raw and desperate mea culpas came like the tide.
She's like, boy, come on.
And for 6 years, they were greeted with silence or fire.
See, if you didn't have
There
the
more
kid,
gifts than bodies in
He would have killed. He would. Yeah.
I just like, and I'm not.
And Lestat's relentless determination began to crack my considerable armor. Perhaps it was the modesty of the gesture.
I don't want to admit that, but yeah, I would have cracked.
In the spring of 1937, one broke through. He had written it himself in the music of the hour. His first composition in 100 years. Rashid, please play the song in question for Mr. Malloy and the doctor.
I'm not here.
He had engaged a local record company. And when the musicians they hired proved unsatisfactory, he played all the instruments himself.
I'm not surprised.
That's
Such
his voice.
Virgo energy.
Yeah. He pressed only one album. Had the master recordings destroyed. You're listening to an inferior re-recording now. The audacity of it all. was matched only by its sincerity. He had made the near perfect Valentine with one flaw.
Pathetic.
One perfectly premeditated flaw.
Oh shit.
6 years of begging. You think a song's gonna get a rise out of me?
It did.
Did you like it?
This her singing?
It's a clear voice. I wanted no obstacle to the lyric.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a song. Put your lover's voice on it. What the fuck is wrong with your hair?
You're soaking wet.
I swim fast and I drown. Put some clothes on, get the fuck out.
This is my house.
Do I look like I care?
Whoop.
Stop.
Leave. You swam the Mississippi to find me?
Anger. Yeah.
I hate you.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, don't.
Here we go.
I love you, Dr. Ben Solly.
Pleasure never meeting you, Mr. Bowen.
He said to no one.
Quick and clever despite 2 bags of fluid.
Legal dope makes me constipated, but the whip flows like a river. You took Lestat back.
The vampire bond.
Mm-mm.
There is no human equivalent.
Don't.
Lover, murderer, maker. You took him back.
It's a bond that can never fully be severed. A bond like that makes you believe there are only 2 of you on the planet. Freedom and chastity wrapped in one person.
But there were 3 of you.
Yes. Yes.
For real, for
Rule
real.
number 4.
That's some
Antoinette.
serious psychological shit.
Affair.
It's a child interfering in the romantic lives of her parents.
She's coming up on 33.
It's a look in the promising vampire years.
Maybe, but I'm not your child anymore.
Mm.
That's rule number 5. I'll be your companion, your sister.
It's not as simple as choosing a new family configuration. Now I'm your cousin, now I'm your aunt. I am your maker.
But not my uncle or my daddy. I'm your sister, or that's the door.
Rule number 6.
I know I'm doing this for him. I wouldn't want to confuse you.
Rule number 6. No lies. And that includes lies of exaggeration and of omission. For instance, if you comply, tell us you comply.
Says grand proclamations and
Oh,
pretentious
every
things.
woman who's gone through this is just streaming. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. You can give him all the fucking parameters you want. Don't fucking matter. Don't do it.
Did you have anything to do with Paul's death?
No,
Oh, good question.
I would never hurt your brother.
It's just something I always...
Never do it.
That's interesting.
Right? I didn't think of that, but that's
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
right.
Because I figured he would never. But now, solid.
Because that is what pushed him over
Basically.
and sent him searching. And then that's the night. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Ooh, I fell asleep. That was planted. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
no.
think he's telling the truth, but I think that says a lot that he asked that question, but he waited till now to ask that question.
So it almost kind of gives me, because this whole time it's like, yeah, he's in love, but you also realize like he's been holding.
So see, she thinks Lestat did kill Paul. See?
Yeah, because you almost see like when you're really watching the show, he's not 100% there. Like he's there, but there's like something.
He's just
there's
talking,
a wall.
and then he just, boop. Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about Paul. I'm talking about
Oh.
Louis.
Oh.
Because think about it, like for him, especially now, reaccounting all the events, it makes it seem like he's really in love with Lestat. He's going back to Lestat, whatever, but he never really commits to Lestat. And that would be a valid reason of why he would never say, I love you, why he would never, you know what I mean? Like they're, like he's dedicated, but he's not 100% dedicated to him. Which is also another reason why Lestat is constantly trying to get.
I see what you mean. He feels tethered to him, but it's not because he's so in love with him. It's because you're the literal only other vampire that I know, and I had to beg you to make this other person so that I don't feel so damn lonely.
Which, like, I know I'm not advocating for, you know, domestic abuse, whatever, and I'm not trying to say I'm fully on Lestat's side, but at the same time, you can see why he keeps doing the things he's doing, because he's like,
oh yeah, well, he's doing them for what's the word? Selfish motivations.
True, but there's moments where you see that spark where he truly wants to be loved, and he wants it from him
because
the whole time.
And it makes sense once you go into the vampire Lestat, all the reasons why he would be begging to have like a real, true love. Not that, I mean, he had a better relationship with his mother than he did everybody else, but still, even like, everyone in his life's kind of been ripped away, without trying to give away too many spoilers or anything, but like,
But the way that they're setting it up in the show, and I've just noticed like these little moments of, you know, when he first comes to Louis, he's like, I want you to be my companion.
But then explain this moment when he's allowing him to come back into their fucking life.
Lestat is Lestat. I can't change who he is, but just because he is who he is doesn't mean that he doesn't want that genuine, like, he sees how he loves Claudia. He wants that love for himself. Not saying that he can't have it with Claudia, but it's the, I want someone to love me like that.
Right.
That's what I want. That's what I thought you would give me. Hence why I wanted you to be my companion.
That's also a trope on a normal, like, bullshit. Like, a lot of the times there's thing that says that men will usually, like, what's the word? Cheat on their wives when they're pregnant, or after they're pregnant and have the baby, when their attention is solely concerned with the baby, they become jealous of the baby and will cheat on their wives.
Right.
And this is kind of giving that same,
100%. 100%.
Main goal was to isolate Louis and his family, was in a way, and it's like he knew killing Paul at Grace's wedding. See, exactly, but it's like, it's that whole narcissistic, controlling, abusive husband who slowly gets you away. But imagine them having fucking superpowers. Like, that's why that's a legit, interesting, great question for him to ask Lestat in this moment. But it just says volumes to me that he waits until 30 plus years later, 40 years later, after they've had one of the hardest, like, fights, like, they're done with, and he's possibly letting him back in, and now I'm gonna let myself, like, ask you all the shit I've never let myself ask.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like the whole time he's had that question, but all of Lestat's actions put that question to rest of, like, no, he's doing all these things because he loved me. Why would he ever do that? And then you had the fight, and now it's like,
then reality slaps you across the face, and you see all the That's when you start backtracking the relationship in your mind. It's so true. Yes. But then again, you're like, so why are you letting him back in the house? Like,
oh my god.
But I hate to say that I've been here.
Who made you?
Yeah, I definitely think so.
His name was Magnus. He took me from my room in Paris as I kicked and screamed. He kept me for a week, locked in a room full of corpses. Some freshly killed, some bloated and black. They all looked like me. My coloring, my physique. staring back at me from rotting faces. He fed on me every night. And then he'd put me back in the tower with the lookalike corpses. I thought for sure I'd be one of them, but instead he turned me into this. No grand history of vampiric origins or physiology, no rules, no counsel. Just a sweeping hand to a pile of money and the sight of him throwing himself into a fire. And then I was alone. I thought, I can't drink hot blood. I can't feed on others. I cried. I called to God. I didn't want this. But I have a capacity for enduring.
Why do I feel like this moment is one of those moments of people who've been traumatized and like, because they've been traumatized, obviously they hurt people, but now he's like telling his traumatic story.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're like,
they're having that moment. You want to trauma bond together? I'll tell you my trauma, you tell me yours. Like, absolutely. Well, the thing is that his life has been a total fucking mystery to them, and they literally just have the how, like, who the hell made you? And now it's finally him just like, it's what's like they said in what's the word, Mean Girls, word vomit. It's just, it's all coming out. Like, by killing Lily had already isolated Louis. Click on it. I think it's more interesting to believe Lestat Paul, because Lestat isn't always a liar. In that moment specifically, I think he tells the truth. I mean, it is an interesting moment to have people going back and forth and being like, is he lying? Is he not lying?
I know. That means you built a really great character.
It's such a passing moment in the conversation. They don't linger on it for very long. But
they just give you a droplet. Yeah. And I feel like it's going to come back at some point in time. Mm-hmm. It's coming back. They wouldn't just be throwing that in there for it to just be a question for the fans. Nah, something's gonna come about. Hey.
Hi.
For your hair?
Yeah.
A little scrunchy.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Look at you.
All right. Claudia doesn't buy it.
Kill Antoinette.
Ooh.
Years accumulated in the small city were catching up to us.
Yeah, y'all been around for, how the hell is she still around looking like that and she's 33 and y'all haven't left the city? That makes zero sense. Oh, right. See, they got a salt circle in front of there. They don't, woo, the witches.
Yeah. There it is.
Please return to the dark place you came from. It was an awkward time. I loved Claudia with all my heart, and I loved Lestat with a wounded one. The work would be convincing the two to find room again for each other. Concessions would be needed. I would have to lead by example.
I'd like to ask a question, if that's amenable to you both.
You don't have to ask permission.
Oh, of course I do. This is the new paradigm, the lambs for the Bosokan.
An apt metaphor. I always took you for a dog with that.
Ask the question.
Is it still 4 legs for Louis and 2 legs for Claudia?
I eat what I eat. She eats what she eats. We respect our differences.
Well, it's always made me feel loathsome, like I'm looked down upon for my body's needs.
Well, you don't actually need it.
There it is. It's an air of superiority when you say that.
I didn't say you couldn't. Just saying you don't have to.
I agree. I know you don't mean to, but I feel the same. Feel tolerated.
He's the vegan.
Why did you have to say something?
It's obvious she doesn't want to upset you.
I can speak for myself.
Every night we hunt. Every night these feelings arise, it breeds resentment.
I don't want that.
Well then, at the risk of paralyzing this household with more compromise, may I propose another rule? When we hunt human. We are a vampire. We should not call me a dog, but an honest dog.
Oh man.
It's like,
Do you
yes,
think
you
could
bring
try a
up a
little
good
harder to get
point,
on
but
with
you don't have to be a dick when you
Have
do
you
it.
asked the
Yeah.
same question?
He's trying. Teaching the piano, the chessboard, isn't he?
That's not trying.
He hasn't taught me to fly.
It's not something you could teach. You're born with it or you're not.
Another
No.
one of his lies.
Hello? We're wondering where you are.
It's his nature to lie.
Claudia?
Lestat.
I remember. You like souvenirs?
I think he's trying to set something up with that. Like he's been trying to get Louis to do it for years, and the only way he could get him to do it now is with Claudia.
Did you really think about repairing them? Not?
No,
Enjoy living in a ruin, do you?
we leave the damage, so we never forget the damage.
If you could just give him an inch.
Once I was sore about his birth, and you're back to eating from his hands. Magnus could be a sous chef in Switzerland for all we know.
Emil, sincerity and humility cannot wear it any longer.
She's just stubborn.
She is a wall. The cliffs de l'Étretat.
Lestat the vulnerable becomes Lestat the irritable because
We're all making compromises to make this right again. I'm drinking the blood. He ended it with the singer. What are you doing?
I'm enduring.
Do more. She's grown very protective of me. That's what this is. Why it's hard.
She came back altered when she left us. There's a darkness in here that wasn't there before.
He's not
We're a
wrong.
little tired.
But he's not.
They're both
I don't
right.
like how he's doing that, though.
Yes.
In many ways, they were more like each other than they wanted to admit.
Exactly.
Yes.
They both sought out weakness. They reveled in the exploitation of it. And they romped with joy as I played audience to their joyless exchanges.
Tell us about your first love, Nikki.
Nicholas.
Louis said that you called him Nicky. That's the song you wrote for him.
Tis.
Do you write songs for all your lovers? I think this one might be better than yours, Louis.
Girl.
Does that mean you loved Nikki more than you loved Louis?
Ignore her, Louis. She asks these naughty questions to gain
The best
attention.
friend everyone needs. Yeah.
I ask these questions because I'm trying to understand you better, Lestat.
Oh
I
my
played 3
God.
games at once in the Jardin de Luxembourg. And one of my opponents was Johann Zukertort, who you know, of course, won the Paris Championships of '78. And
Of
who,
course, who
later
doesn't
that
know who won the
afternoon,
Paris
had jokes
Chess
to draw.
Championship of '78? My mama taught me
please
that before I
continue
started
with
crawling.
the tedious observation. And I once again,
Fucking love
give me a
it.
check.
Did Nikki kill himself like your maker Magnus?
Check.
Or did you kill him like you did Antoinette and how you tried to do with Louis?
Claudia.
Nicky passed on after he and I parted ways. It took me over a century to try again. Checkmate.
I'm sorry for your losses, Lestat.
It was you who lost, Claudia, for the many hundredth time. I admire your steadfast pursuit of a game you clearly have no acumen for.
My master taught me how to play, but only enough to occupy his time.
I think I'll hunt alone tonight.
Master's had so much loss in his life, Lord couldn't ask him to bear anymore.
I'll come with you.
Thank you.
Poor Master and his pain. It's an honor just to sleep under Master's roof.
And I know she's talking to you.
You're ugly when you act like that.
Better ugly than blind.
No, this is true.
He didn't kill that woman.
Who's fooled herself into thinking she's smarter than she is, and she is poisoning Louis against me.
Don't need her.
He's a piece of shit, and I knew he didn't kill that woman to begin with.
I've given her so many gifts, so many incalculable gifts, and you're right, it is both of them. He broods, she snipes.
He's trying to gain the whole point of him getting Louis to drink blood from humans again is seeing, oh look, I can exert control, but I'm gonna use Claudia's point of view in order to do so. Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
You make me
Oh, please! I want Claudia to show up and just.
Oh, you forgot to kill her.
Let me help you 1 second. Let me show you how this shit is done.
Los Angeles.
What does he like about this one?
Well, now that I'm dead, I can be whoever I want. I've been working on a new name. What do you think?
He did not turn her.
Marie LePere.
Because then technically, yes, he killed her. But he found a fucking loophole. And that's...
I was thinking, what, did they like fake her death and create like a document
Maybe.
for
Probably.
it?
Yeah, thinking. No, she doesn't look like she's changed.
I seek refuge from complaints when I visit you.
I know that, but promises were made.
And promises will be kept.
You withering Hilleside. Who's gonna hire a singer who don't sing? Who's a little...
That's what it's for.
Oh,
that's her.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
and
stop.
here she is sitting there.
No, I don't think it's her. It's both of them.
It wasn't shocking. It was perfectly consistent with his nature. He'd been told to do something, and brat that he was,
Brat.
he liked being told what to do. The effect, however, was numbing.
I'm sorry, Louis.
That's all what it is.
He's the father of lies. If that's the kind of desperate trash he wants to love, then let him have it.
He doesn't love her.
You heard him say it.
Spit in a sandwich and serve it with a smile.
What?
It's only fun if you get to watch him take a bite. Either a town away, done by design. He wanted us to discover it.
But why?
Because he's all kinds of fucked up.
Wonderful.
If you thought I'd take him as he is.
And I probably will.
So you ain't gonna tell him that you know about him?
What difference would it make?
That's depression talking.
He's at that point where it's like, look.
I really don't give a fuck in this very moment. That's numbness and the depression talking.
We could hide out in Hollywood.
Give it a week.
On a boat. Take us anywhere we want to go.
Anywhere sounds like nowhere.
Prague, Bucharest, Varna,
That's weird.
Ploiești.
Funny sounding towns.
Ancient towns with more like us living in them. And they can't all be like him. Or him. We
Is
can
it
get
though?
on that train, Louis.
Louis. The numbness remained. Hardened somehow.
Because now he's like literally going through the motions.
Yeah, he's
tortured rationalization.
He's planning an escape without giving up,
right,
making it obvious. But that would still just be weird to be having sex and talking to your kid in your head at the same time.
That won't be us.
That's just me. That's just me.
crazier.
Paul died at a sunrise.
And off to Antoinette.
Oh, Paul died at sunrise. So Lestat couldn't
about
have
that
been
dawn.
out in the daylight to do it. No, not that he was out, but he could have been like using mind control from distance.
Give us 100 more years of this. Taking anything we want, killing anything in front of us. No one says shit about it.
Episodes.
I can see us just like
broken
him.
emotionally.
I
hate
can
to
see it,
it.
Claudia.
How broken
Well, I
we
can't.
was so different.
Oh,
from
hold
the
on, pause.
Train's leaving in an hour.
Sorry, I was just. Yeah, love this show. Oh, very different from the man in episode 1, but that's good character development.
Rewind.
Get off that bench.
Sorry.
Oyashti.
Funny sounding towns.
Ancient towns.
Whatever.
Look more like us living in them. And they can't all be like him. Or him. We can get on that train, Louis.
Louis. The numbness remained, hardened somehow into a disassociative shell, a vessel of acceptance, tortured rationalization. This life, it does a number on the head, on the soul. If we even have a soul. We can say that won't be us, but every night I feel a little crazier.
And off to Antoinette.
I'll see you both at dawn.
Give us 100 more years of this. Taking anything we want, killing anything in front of us. No one says shit about it. I can see us just like him. I can see it, Claudia.
Well, I can't. Train's leaving in an hour. Get off that bench. Bună ziua, mă cheamă Louis. Care e drumul spre becul Castel?
I can barely speak French and English. I just hold you back.
Oh, God, that's depression talking.
When he hurts you again, and he will, come find me. I'll be in.
Pride. Bucharest. Varna. Silvestre. Ploial.
Ploiești.
Could never get that one to tumble out. Right. Hey, sis. You don't need me. You think you do, but you don't. You're smarter now. You see trouble coming a mile away. Dark woods and bridged rivers. Then the lights of a city depot. Birmingham, Atlanta, Greensboro, Washington, D.C. She, of all things on the earth, deserved a nice seat and a wide window to watch the countryside blur before the glass. But it was 1939, and the only Negro allowed in first class was the porter, and the Negro passenger rode the rear. The Negro vampire made do with what was left, which was fine with her. This is the part of my story back in San Francisco where you said, I paraphrase, give it to me. Make me a vampire now.
In the eyes of a 20-year-old, you were waiting the gift.
True.
You're in your 20s, Rashid. What do you think?
Well, Mr. Dulac presides in the most desired real estate in the country. I do not see the waste Mr. Malloy sees.
Yeah, well, he lived in a dump the last time we did this.
I'd give it to you now. I still had time to watch your daughters marry.
And divorce. And die. Save it for the rent boy.
May I be excused, Mr. Dulac?
Oh,
Are you planning on slapping me again, Daniel?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I teased Lynn that night in Jackson Square. Taught her about the walking cane and pile of ash they'd find in the morning. But Paul had forever ruined Grace's wedding night, and I would not be the same to Claude on the anniversary of her escape. If I was to join Dante's wood of the self-murdered, it would be another night. And so I endured my way home. Back to the crypt. Back to the undeserving Lestat.
Louis, come. Listen here.
What is it?
Germany's invaded Poland. Tanks rolling through the countryside. Horrors unleashed.
Since when do you care about humanity?
Well, I don't. But to think, our sister, impulsive tot that she is, was on her way to holiday in Europe. I'm so glad she decided to better it. We'll have to make it up to her stateside somehow. Won't we, Louis?
Lestat said, bitch, you ain't going nowhere.
Tickets, please. You're riding the New York Limited. Next stop, Birmingham, Alabama.
What the fuck, bro? I'm sorry, but yo, hold on. Pause.
Is that supposed to be so fucking funny? Like,
oh, he done reached a whole new level of crazy.
Claudia. You left without saying goodbye. Again?
Sorry,
I'm sure it was an oversight. But still, you'd think your creator had earned the courtesy.
You didn't want me. You made me for Louis.
And he needs you now, more than ever. He's in a terrible state.
He said I could go. He picked you over me.
Louis couldn't pick an apple off a tree in his current state.
I did,
He prepared to get it, and weak as he is, the stemmer hold.
Let me go, Lisa.
Louis' hour of need. I'm afraid I can't allow that. He's very fragile right now. Worse than the last time you abandoned him. time you filled your head with knowledge and hitched a ride on a motorbike. We wouldn't talk of it. Louis insisted I not ask. I love our family, but the rules are no secrets. Fortunate for our family. When I put my mind to it, I can hear the thoughts of other vampires at a very great distance.
Bastard.
He thinks of you often. Bruce.
Fucking bastard.
I couldn't agree more. What he did to you was in very poor taste. Could you imagine if something like that happened to you again? Louis will never forgive himself. Back in your cage, sweetheart. We endure each other for Louis' happiness. So come home and make him happy. Because if you try this again, Claudia, I won't snap your leg, defile your pocket, and zoom up on a motorbike. I'll turn your bones to dust.
I had hoped against hope that some miracle would prevent a devastating war in Europe and bring to an end the invasion of Poland by Germany.
The Dutch defense. Naturally.
I've been having a thought the last few days, Louis.
Yeah, what's that?
I think he killed Magnus. I think the vampire made him a slave. And he would be a slave no more than I would. And so he killed him. Killed him before he knew all the things he could have known. And now he's gone and made us slaves to him.
So annoying again. You've become quite predictable, my sister disappointment.
We're not slaves. Maybe mindless accomplices.
No, we're his slaves. And I will free us both.
Claudia.
We have no more use for him. And he causes us misery with no horizon.
What are you doing? Power dynamic me until I grow empathetic. Is that your strategy tonight? Well, Bishop can be captured, but I see the trap.
I don't like what you're feeling right now. Cannot kill.
I love you, Louis. I don't say it often enough anymore.
If you love me, then listen to me. I beg you.
If you're going to beat Lestat, you have to become Lestat. You have to think like he does. And then 5 moves ahead of that.
Bishop 2, G1.
But he's not mortal.
Queen to H2.
No illness can touch him. You threaten a life which will endure to the end of the world.
You will bring your queen. But the bishop cannot be ignored.
I am done enjoying.
I'm moving my rook. Knight takes the bishop.
I'm going to kill him. Check.
He'll destroy you if you try.
No, Louis.
Rook protects the king, and your queen has been neutralized. It's a very spirited effort.
I can kill him.
Another baffling pawn sacrifice.
Check. And I want to tell you something else now. A secret of all secrets between you and me.
Now you're giving up bishops and knights for pawns.
Yeah.
The secret is, Louis, you want to kill him too. And you will enjoy doing it.
I love that this is over a chess game too.
You've won.
I'm tired.
I finished the game.
I think I'm gonna go to bed.
What if your opponent finished the game?
Good night, Lisette. Good night, Louis.
She was right.
Spoiled, self-centered.
It was inevitable.
Heedless, disagreeable, obnoxious Japan.
Every ship that sails the sea, every battle is done.
My 5-year-old.
We were going to kill the stock.
Ah, the temper tantrum.
We were going to kill the stock.
Poor guy.
Are you awake?
I can be.
I think the medication has overwhelmed our boy.
Trubidis rebus ad infinitum. I would gladly wake him.
No, we can pick it up again tomorrow. But fetch a cover, would you? Let him be warm with his dreaming.
All right, all right, all right.
What's in the bag? Hello? Hi. Work. My work's in the bag.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
Is it a
baby.
gun? Are you an assassin? Am I the man who came to kill? I did a terrible thing once. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm a writer. A journalist mostly. So. Do you have money tonight, Danny? Get the boy whatever you want.
I'll have a grasshopper.
Tom Collins.
Louis de Pointe de Lac. That's an interesting name.
Louis of Juan Dulac Plantation. My great-great-grandfather owned one. All that remains is a name.
Oh, that's the accent.
Have an accent?
I have a slight sharpness of the consonants, that's all.
An observant journalist.
Yeah. I do interviews mostly. I have a series at the Berkeley Bar. Hey, you know, I could interview you.
Well, I'm no one of importance.
Well, it's my speciality. You see, I look for people in the cracks. You feel me?
I do feel you.
You know, it's about the people, you know, who make the city, right? You know, not a cop or a politician. Any asshole can do that. But, you see, I get them on tape, and then I write them up.
You didn't come here for that. I know you're struggling, Danny.
It's Daniel.
I have what you're looking for. High quality, fitting a man of my tastes. I have a room over on Dipasadero, not too far a walk.
It's little things because he's dressed
You and I.
modernly, but he doesn't speak modernly.
Yeah.
It's, it's interesting.
I want to interview you.
Sounds fun.
I mean, if something happens, you know, I'm cool, but yeah, I really want to interview you.
Of course. Take it as it comes. That okay with you? Would you like to join us?
No. You go ahead, have your fun.
Yeah. 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 I'm right there with homie. The fuck?
He just realized that he's interesting.
It's weird because this whole time it's like, you know me, but I don't realize who you are.
Right. And he hasn't said a damn word other than, did he mention you don't recognize me? He did say that at least once, right?
I don't know. Y'all tell us if he said that. Because
Right?
I can't remember.
So are we feeling young Daniel and Louis?
So hot, right?
So
I'm
cute.
like, Daniel, okay.
If something happens, I'm like, ooh.
I know. It's like, all right. Louis pulls fireman. Yes,
Fine
he
ass
does.
man.
Yes, he does.
He's a fine ass man himself.
Was that theater kid? But
Was it?
Oh my God, yeah.
You're talking to theater kids?
That scene right there. Oh my God. I love that scene. I don't know why. I think it was amazing.
No, it was
gave me
beautifully-
everything that I wanted.
Beautifully set up.
Ooh.
I wasn't thinking.
Some men can just look so hot in makeup. What is it?
For a king,
You like the secret of immortality?
When you meet the devil, and what are the terms of the agreement?
So how are we feeling about the adaptive changes and motivations from the novel to this adaptation? I feel like it's really not very far off. Emotionally speaking, motivationally speaking, it's for the same reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like she feels controlled. She feels she'll never grow. I mean, there's that whole "I'll never grow up" aspect to the whole Kirsten Dunst in the movie and in the book, and things like that. I mean, the book, she's a 6-year-old. In the movie, she's an 11-year-old. Here, they have her as a teenager, so it's really not about like her age so much. That's, I mean, totally fine. She still feels locked into something that she can't get out of, that she has no control over, that Lestat has every bit of the control over, and he refuses to let go of.
Yeah. I do feel like because they aged her up, they could do so much more and portray it differently in ways that if it was a kid, they wouldn't be able, like, there's so many things that they just wouldn't be able to do. So, yeah. I'm down with what they're doing right now. I feel like right now, for most of like books that I've read that have been turned into TV shows and movies, this has probably been the best one because they stayed so true to the characters and the interaction and the relationships. Yes, circumstances may have changed, timeline may have changed. That's fine. But this is how you do it. Like you keep the core of it and you just adjust little things that can easily be adjusted, but it still falls into the right pattern.
It's still their personality. It's still the essence of the story. It's still within the style of Anne Rice's writing. 100% all of it makes sense, but they've updated it. They've made it more visually appealing instead of having a bunch of white Frenchmen that all look the same. Let's be honest.
I feel like because they have Black people in it, there's another layer. Even just sitting there,
adding that
watching,
makes love it.
Yeah, sitting there watching them play chess and they're having the conversation. She's talking to Louis, and I'm just like thinking about just the visual representation of, okay, we know she doesn't want to be controlled. He doesn't want to be controlled, this, that, and the other. But when you look at the perspective of the race aspect, which adds the other layer of you have this dominant Caucasian person who has these two people, and yes, he loves them, but at the same time he's controlling them, and now they're starting to fight back. It's like,
and he don't like that shit, and he probably doesn't even
like. And it's weird because it's like knows. We don't want, like, I'm not trying to add the race thing, but I can't help but to see it, and I'm like,
put there for a reason though.
Is oh my God, like oh my God, yeah.
She goes, I love it personally, and it works for this version. I low-key stan this version of Claudia, 100%. Stan this version of Claudia. Yeah. I don't know if it's because of the acting, the writing being so excellent, but absolutely.
Yeah.
She's she's grown up, she's in her 30s, and there's no way in hell you're gonna like, she's your best friend whose man is a piece of shit.
She's that best friend that's gonna tell you the truth.
Who moved
and
in
you don't
with
want
you
to hear
because
it.
he left you and beat your ass.
Yep.
And then 3 years later, he's trying to get back in this house. Oh no! Oh no! We're mad at this asshole.
Yeah.
Like.
Yep.
Like she's the best.
Yep.
I love her.
And whatever tragedy is coming up, even more depth. Yes, it's gonna make
No,
what?
I know. But
they've done so great with building.
Oh, I know.
The building of your characters and just like,
you're on the edge of the seat because we all know it's coming, and yet we.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna.
This is what I want.
It.
This is what I want when I read a book. And then I watch a series. I don't want it to be exactly like the book. I want you to give me a new interpretation. It's like, I know what's going to happen, but the way you're building it up, I'm still like, but is it going to happen that way? They could change it. I won't be mad if they change it. Okay, that's cool. Because the way they're building it, it makes sense.
I 100% agree with that. But in the very beginning, we
in the beginning first episode, if you guys haven't seen the episode, go back and watch it. We were
book purist assholes in the beginning. They're like,
which is okay.
I don't like
but
I mean, not that Jacob Anderson is black, there's no black people. No, I was mostly salty because we had come up with a theory as to how they were gonna incorporate people of race and color into the story, and my theory was totally fucking wrong. And I guess that's why we were coming off salty.
No, it's just, I mean, it happens. You kind of have this one idea of how it's going to go. You watch it. If your mind changes, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. But we still gave it a chance. We didn't be like, oh, it's just horrible. Obviously, it's not. Let's see. The love for the books is so apparent in this adaptation, 100%. Which is why I think it works so well and elevates the material. The changes are a love letter, 100%. Yeah, agreed. Totally
you can tell that Anne and Christopher both had their hands within this.
Yeah. Let's see which one's next.
Do you think Louis talking about the vampire bond thing is bullshit so he can justify himself taking back Lestat? Yes and no, 100%. I mean, really, think about somebody who's married, who's legit married. They've taken that bond. They've had a kid together. I would say the vampire bond is very much like the bond that people have when they have a child together. That's not something that you can get rid of, but you don't have to stay together because you have a kid. But it is something that's very, very hard for you to kind of
just let go.
Yeah.
You're always connected to that person.
Yeah.
But I definitely think he's using it as an excuse.
And a lot of women, and I'm sure a lot of men, use that excuse.
Yeah.
As, I can't leave. I have a child. I have this bond with this man. I can't just leave. We should work on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I think my answer a lot of the time is going to be a little yes, a little no.
Yeah, but that's life.
Yeah.
Life is in the gray area. There's no 100% black and white. Yes,
right after this,
we'll take a break, go grab some snacks, do all the stuff, and we'll be back for the final episode. I don't want it to be over, guys.
We had a theory. That this is what they were going to end the season with.
Bitch, I was right. We'll see. We still got a whole episode. There's
no way in hell they're going to fit the whole book into 7 episodes. But they chose a beautiful.
Oh, I can't wait. What do you guys think about Lestat talking about Magnus and hints to his origins?
I think that one, it's interesting because then eventually, because if they're going to continue with the Vampire Chronicles, they're calling it the Immortal Universe. You know that they're going to continue with the other books. So I think that they might be able to start his story later in the book and then do references. Now they don't have to show you how he was created, because they just told you about it. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna sit on the other side and say they're gonna show you. They better show you.
I hope they do, to be honest. But they could easily start the whole thing like within days after he's been created.
True. I think that's just a lot of stuff that they're putting in the shows are nuggets to start, everything else.
It's also a way to let you know that you're going to get more about him as time goes on.
100%. I clicked this earlier. I think there's a bond, but it's not all. Claudia doesn't seem to be affected by that bond.
Well, true, but their bond was also a sexual one at that, where, I mean, I know I'm not the only one who's had a toxic sexual relationship in the past. Like,
I think
that shit.
Claudia had a bond, and then she slowly started to unravel that bond when she realized who Lestat really was.
Yeah.
And because she didn't have any relationship prior with him, it's probably easier for her. Because think about it, how many times you had a relationship or met said person, and you immediately pick up on their energy, their vibe, and you start seeing their actions, and you're like, nah, I'm good with this. But then if you have another friend who's been friend with them for years, and they're like, oh, no, that's them. And you're like, nah, that's not, no, we don't operate like that.
There's always that one person in the friend group who knows who's crazy before everybody else knows that bitch is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody's like, there's nothing wrong with her. You're crazy. And you're like, okay, give it 2 years. You'll know. It's fine.
Yeah, you'll see. I'll be over here when you're ready. Yeah. Yeah.
But I just think that because they don't share that sort of extra layer to their relationship, that she was saved by Louis. She may have been turned by Lestat, and she has she just I think that he's calling it. You're right. It's bullshit. He's calling it a vampire bond, but it's not about that.
Great point. Sam and Jacob talked about the vampire bond, and their bond was made out of love. Lestat didn't make Claudia out of love for her.
That is a good point. Yeah. That is actually a really good point. He just made her just because Louis told him to. So it was just a quick, okay, whatever, that kind of thing. So.
Yeah.
That was a really good episode. When he walked out with the conductor said, using a Brooklyn accent. I don't know why. But that shit was so funny.
That was probably my favorite moment of this entire episode, because like that came out of nowhere. Nowhere.
Can I just say my mom's been watching this show and then watching our things about the show afterwards, and she's texting me. She's like, $64,000 question. So, did he eat the baby? And I'm just like,
oh my God. Yeah. All right. Before we get off, I do want to watch the after the episodes, because a couple of times we watched the after the episodes.
What's ticket, please?
For
the train ticket, please.
And sometimes, we agree with what they say in after the episodes, and sometimes we don't. So I figured we should
that's a good point. Yeah, let's see what they say.
Watch the after the episode.
You think I'm withholding? Go on, ask your questions.
Who made you?
Episode 6, like angels put in hell by God. When you take them back, you know you shouldn't do it, you do it anyway.
His name was Magnus. He took me from my room in Paris as I kicked and screamed.
Whatever your feelings about Lestat are, here we get to finally hear what Lestat's pain is all about. And it is a fairly traumatic entrance into the world. For a guy who has been withholding for a long time, he resents having to do it, but does it anyway because his love and his intensity.
I want to talk about something like this, but I feel like it would be a little bit spoilery.
Yeah.
The fact that Lestat withholds information from them about the vampire world makes me so excited for the future and how they will show the subcultures and hierarchies in that. Oh, no. I can't wait until they're introducing the vampire Armand, Pandora, Marius, like Blood and Gold, like, oh, for you.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Some freshly killed, some bloated and black. They all look like me.
Lestat has had to go through life figuring it out blindly.
Just a sweeping hand to a pile of money and the sight of him throwing himself into a fire. I cried. I called to God. I didn't want this. but I have a capacity for enduring.
One reaction to that, which is Louis accepts it, and there's Claudia, who is still, yeah, and what? You've had 200 years to get over your shit.
Do you think you could try a little harder to get on with him?
Have you asked him the same question?
He's trying to bring the family together, and the family doesn't want it.
If you could just give him an inch.
One sob story about his birth, and you're back to eating from his hands.
She's just stubborn.
She is a wall.
And it's very clear that the family is not functioning well. There is something very, very screwed up about the dynamics here. It's not fun, it's not pleasant, but you endure the years because you cannot have relations with humanity. We are only stuck with ourselves.
I've been having a thought the last few days, Louis.
Yeah, what's that?
I am done enjoying.
The chess scene is quite interesting. It's based off a very famous chess game called the Polish Immortal. Basically, it's a series of moves by one opponent that sort of lures in a person who wants everything in the world.
Oh my
wants
God,
to take
I love
everything.
it.
And she can
They
see
turned
this is
into
the way
chess
into
nerds for this
Lestat.
episode. I love
yeah. You've become quite predictable, my sister disappointment.
She is slowly suckering him in. And she is wise enough to kind of look at the landscape and go, there's only one way to do it. We have to kill him.
I can kill him.
She, through this chess game, sees it's possible. We could do it. So we can outthink him if we...
She's very much recognizing, she's like a child, finally recognizing that both of her parents are humans.
Right.
And that they don't really have that power, that
it's
that humanity kind of slaps you in the face. And then you also go through these like weird moments when you start recognizing certain things in yourself that's just like this parent, and then certain things in yourself that's just like this parent. And like you don't like this parent at all, but sometimes you have to recognize that parent did contribute to some of you, and then that's what she's doing in this moment. We have to think like him and then add 5 steps. She's recognizing that she's so much like him. She needs to use it to her advantage and stop pushing it away. Let's kill this motherfucker. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's so smart. I love it.
Giving up bishops and knights for pawns.
And I love that he doesn't realize it.
Cocky because he wins every time.
The secret is, Louis, you want to kill him too, and you will enjoy doing it.
You're born.
So mad.
She was right. We were going to kill Lestat.
I love this.
And the fact that she says that you want to kill him too, and then he goes off on her and just screams not like bad word, but like he calls her all these names and starts cussing her out in French and all this stuff, and it's just supplanting in his mind. Keep talking about me to my baby.
That's the funniest shit ever, though.
No, it was hilarious.
Come finish the game. Come finish. You're being selfish. You're being selfish because you lost. Okay. Oh my God. All right, guys. So we're gonna go grab snackies, take a break. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. Like this video.
We appreciate everybody We appreciate everybody commenting and coming to hang out with us on our live. Thank you so much. It's super appreciated. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.